The moment that just went viral on all social media sites tells you everything you need to know about what's really going on with the Cleveland Browns. Andrew Berry, the general manager who got a lot of flack for picking Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round, just had his moment of vindication. The cameras caught him going up to his quarterback right after the historic first win. But what happened next will shock you. This wasn't a professional handshake or a formal congratulations. This was real emotion, real pride, and the relief of a man who had just seen his controversial choice confirmed in the most public way possible. Andrew Berry asked Shedeur with a big smile on his face, "How does it feel, bro?" And Shedeur's answer was just right.
Shedeur he's a very impressive young man. He's poised, he's calm, he's smart. You can tell that he's been raised by, really quite honestly, a Hall of Fame dad.
That's exactly what you want to hear from a young quarterback who just made history. We have a lot of work to do, but we did make some tackles today. Yes, shave more than I gave up. A true professional knows how to respond humbly and with focus while still recognizing the achievement. And Berry's reaction to his quarterback, the way he talked to him, and the real happiness in his voice all show how much he cares about Shedeur's success and how much this moment meant to him. We need to talk about Andrew Berry's situation because the background is very important for understanding why this moment went viral and why it matters so much. Andrew Berry is the general manager who made the controversial choice to pick Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round. He got a lot of criticism from the media for the pick. He had to deal with people who didn't believe Shedeur was good enough to be on the team. He dealt with office politics and pressure from people who have their own ideas about which quarterback the Browns should go after.
I don't know where that report came from. That's not a request that we made. That being said, I want to be clear, that would have no bearing in terms, whether he participated or not, that has no bearing in terms of how we think of it, but I don't know where that came from.
Berry believed in Shedeur the whole time, fought for him, and finally got his guy on the field. Shedeur just became the first Browns rookie quarterback to win his first start in 30 years. He ended a 17-game losing streak that had become a source of shame for the team. The GM gets to have his moment after he threw for more than 200 yards and showed the calmness and playmaking skills that made Berry believe in him in the first place. This is proof. This is proof. No matter what the doubters said, this shows that Andrew Berry knew what he was doing when he picked Shedeur Sanders. If you like this breakdown of the most emotional moment in Browns history, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. What I'm about to say next will blow your mind. This clip went viral because people are so hungry for real moments in professional sports. We are used to seeing scripted press conferences and carefully planned interactions between players and executives. But this time, with Berry and Shedeur, was real. The feeling was real. There was no way to fake the pride in Berry's voice and body language. People shared the clip millions of times on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and other sites because it felt like a real human moment instead of a corporate sports show. But this is where things get even more interesting and controversial. Shedeur Sanders did not get the game ball after his historic first win. I need to say that again because it's hard to believe. The quarterback who just ended a 30-year drought won his first start when 17 other Browns rookie quarterbacks before him had failed, threw for over 200 yards, and made amazing plays throughout the game, did not get the game ball. Instead, it went to Myles Garrett, the defensive end, who had 3 sacks in the team's big win. Let's be clear before we go any further. Myles Garrett should definitely get credit for how well he played. 3 sacks is a great amount of production, and he's been one of the few good things for Cleveland during their struggles. The defense as a whole was amazing, getting 10 sacks and completely stopping the Raiders' offense. But this is what people are upset about. This was a historic moment for the franchise because of what Shedeur did. Ending that rookie quarterback's losing streak in their first game is very important. This was the main story that made the game what it was. The story that got everyone in the football world talking. People will remember this accomplishment when they look back on Shedeur's career years from now. And for the coaching staff to not say anything about it with the game ball seems like a huge mistake at best and a deliberate insult at worst. People outside the locker room might think that the choice of who gets the game ball is not a big deal, but it is in the locker room. It's a symbolic act that shows what the group cares about and who they think should be honored. If you look at the moment from self for a rookie quarterback who just did something that hadn't been done by a Browns rookie in 30 years, not getting that recognition sends a message, whether you mean to or not. A lot of people on social media are saying that Shedeur was disrespected by that choice. Myles Garrett's comments after the game show that he's a classy veteran who knows how important what happened was. He talked about how it felt to watch all of his teammates make plays and get sacks. He also said that he thought he could break the franchise sack record. That last part says a lot. For Garrett, this was just another great game in a career full of great games. For Shedeur, though, this was a career-defining moment, a historic achievement, and a turning point for the whole franchise, not just for him. The moment between Deion Sanders and Shedeur right after the game was so beautiful and moving. In the tunnel, Primetime was waiting for his son. When they finally met, you could see how proud and happy they both were. This was a father watching his son do something amazing, beat the odds, and prove the naysayers wrong on the biggest stage. The guards had to push people back to give them room for that private moment. People around them showed respect, which shows how important this accomplishment was. Before we talk about what Shedeur said that made the coaches shake, hit that like button if you think Shedeur should have gotten the game ball. When you think about what Shedeur said about doing all of this in just 1 week of practice, it's really shocking. He said, "You know what I mean? 1 week of practice. This win is insane. It's incredible. You know, after 1 week of practice, you know what I mean?" So, think about what a whole off-season would look like. It gets dangerous, but it's only 1 week of practice. That's not just being humble or downplaying what he did. That's Shedeur saying in the most polite way possible that the Cleveland Browns are not handling the quarterback situation well. Take a moment to think about what he's really saying. He just won his first start, made history, threw for more than 200 yards, and made amazing plays all game long with only 1 week of first-team practice. He wasn't running with the starters during training camp. He wasn't getting the most time to prepare because the offensive game plan was built around him. He was thrown into this situation with little warning and still did very well. Now think about what he could do if he had a whole offseason to work on his game with an offense built around his strengths and perfect timing and chemistry with his receivers. It is an understatement to say that it gets dangerous. Shedeur's comment is his way of saying that the Browns have been wasting time by not giving him this chance sooner, without directly criticizing the coaching staff or front office. How much better could he and the offense be if he had been the guy from the start? He can do this much with just 1 week of practice. How many more games might Cleveland have won earlier in the season if they had made this change sooner? Kevin Stefanski and the coaching staff don't like these questions, and Shedeur just brought them up in the most professional way possible. After this performance, the criticism of Kevin Stefanski's handling of the quarterback situation is at an all-time high. Fans and experts are wondering why it took so long for Shedeur to get on the field. If he could play at this level, they want to know why he wasn't getting first-team reps during training camp. People are wondering if the coaching staff didn't make the obvious move sooner because of politics within the organization, or because they were committed to decisions they had already made. Those questions are now louder and more pointed than ever after seeing Shedeur do well with little preparation. After this first performance, Andrew Berry's position in the company got a lot stronger. If there were any doubts about his job security or questions about how well he did his job, this performance answers them clearly. Berry saw Shedeur as a good player to draft in the 5th round, even though other teams kept passing on him. He fought to get him on the team and backed getting him on the field. And now his quarterback has made history and proven that he can play at this level. That's what a general manager is supposed to do. Find talented people who aren't getting enough credit and give them the chance to succeed. The difference between Berry's job security and Stefanski's is becoming very clear. It seems like Berry is a genius for picking Shedeur. Stefanski seems suspicious for not playing him sooner and for the controversial choice not to give him the game ball after a historic performance. The "somebody called me Junior" comment from Shedeur to Berry is interesting because it shows that people are already starting to compare him to his father. When you're Deion Sanders' son and people call you Junior, they expect a lot from you and put a lot of pressure on you. But Shedeur has always shown that he doesn't run away from that kind of pressure or comparison. He accepts it, uses it as motivation, and then goes out and does things that honor his father's memory, while also making a name for himself. Shedeur has a strong support system around him, which is very important for the growth of a young quarterback. He has his father's advice and wisdom from years of playing professional sports at the highest levels. Andrew Berry is his general manager, and he fought to get him to Cleveland because he believes in him. He has veteran teammates like Myles Garrett who can help him deal with the problems that come with being in the NFL. And he has a lot of fans who want the quarterback to be stable and are ready to support him through the growing pains that come with training a young quarterback. Most people on social media have sided with Shedeur in the game ball controversy. Fans are upset that he didn't get that recognition. People who used to play are questioning the choice. There is a debate among analysts about whether it shows bigger problems with how the coaching staff sees Shedeur. The talk has gotten out of hand, and now the Browns are in an awkward situation that could have been easily avoided if they had just given Shedeur the game ball and let him have his moment. Andrew Berry's Myles Garrett saying that I had Andrew watching over me today is a nice way to remember a teammate who died. No one should take away from that moment or that feeling. It's important in sports culture to honor teammates who have died. That doesn't change the fact that Shedeur's historic achievement also deserved to be recognized. And it's not impossible to praise both the quarterback's great play and the defense's great play. What Cleveland does with the quarterback situation is the next question. Are they going to stick with Shedeur as the starter for the rest of the season? Do they go back to the old starter once he's better? Shedeur's energy and drive on and off the field make a strong case for keeping him in the starting role, but sometimes teams can't make the obvious choice sooner because they are stuck in their ways and are committed to past decisions. If the Browns don't make Shedeur the permanent starter, his comment about imagining what a full offseason would be like will haunt them. He just told them and everyone else that he can be even better if he gets ready and has a full chance. If Cleveland doesn't give him that chance and he does well somewhere else, or if the Browns keep having problems at quarterback, that quote will be used over and over again as proof that they had the answer but didn't stick with it. Andrew Berry's moment with Shedeur went viral, which shows how much people want the Browns to do well. Even though Cleveland has been dysfunctional and disappointing for decades and has been the butt of many jokes, there is still a lot of goodwill toward the city and a real hope that things can get better. Seeing the GM and his quarterback celebrate together after a historic win brings back that hope and makes people want to believe that this could be the start of something great. It's impressive for someone his age to show so much emotional intelligence in his post-game comments. He thanked his coaches and teammates. He said that there is still work to be done and room for improvement. He was humble, but he also made it clear that he deserves more chances. It's hard to find that balance, but he did, which shows that he is mature and knows how to deal with the media, which will help him in his career. Cleveland's coaches are now under a lot of pressure to keep giving Shedeur chances. People want it. The media is pushing for it. The general manager is clearly on his side. And most importantly, Shedeur just showed that he can handle the pressure and do well at this level. If Stefanski and his staff try to go back to the old quarterback hierarchy after this performance, every fan of the Browns will be very angry. So, here we are. Andrew Berry just had his moment of vindication with the quarterback he fought to draft. Shedeur Sanders made history, but he didn't get the game ball. People all over the football world are talking about what Cleveland should do next. And a fifth-round pick that a lot of people said didn't belong in the NFL just showed that he's exactly what the Browns have been looking for in a quarterback for more than 30 years. What do you think about the emotional moment Andrew Berry had with Shedeur after the big win? Was it unfair that Shedeur didn't get the game ball after his first game? Do you think the Browns should make him the starting quarterback for good based on what you saw? How important was Shedeur's remark about having only 1 week of practice? Please share your thoughts in the comments because I want to know what you think about this amazing story. You must really care about this story if you've read this far and want to know about every new development in Shedeur's journey. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update when we post new content about the Browns and Shedeur's career. If you think Shedeur deserved the game ball and that Andrew Berry made the right choice in drafting him, give this video a thumbs up. Tell your Browns fan friends about this because it's something they've been waiting for their whole lives. The drought is over, history has been made, and the real story is just getting started.